Every year, over 500 million Cadbury Creme Eggs roll off the production line, enough to stretch from London to Los Angeles and back. But how do they make that soft, sugary center stay perfectly runny inside a solid chocolate shell? Deep inside the factory, massive vats swirl with molten cocoa. Conveyor belts whip by at lightning speed, and precision robots inject golden fondant with uncanny accuracy. It's a high-stakes operation built around a single bite-sized mystery. So, what's the secret behind that oozy, iconic middle, and how do they stop it from leaking out? Let's crack open the process behind one of the world's most curious confections. Inside a sprawling factory nestled in Bournville, Birmingham, a highly orchestrated process begins to unfold, one that leads to the creation of over 500 million Cadbury Creme Eggs each year. That's nearly 1.5 million eggs every single day during peak season. The journey starts long before any chocolate touches a mold. In fact, it begins with the raw ingredients sourced from multiple corners of the globe, brought together with pinpoint precision to create one of Britain's most iconic confections. The chocolate itself is a blend of milk solids, cocoa mass, cocoa butter, sugar, and a dash of vanilla flavoring. The cocoa beans used to make this rich chocolate base originate primarily from Ghana, the Ivory Coast, and Indonesia, countries that remain among the largest cocoa producers in the world. Once harvested, the beans are fermented, dried under the sun, and shipped in bulk containers to processing plants where they are roasted and ground into a fine paste. That paste is then conched, refined further through heat and mechanical movement until it becomes the silky chocolate Cadbury is known for. But it's not all chocolate. One of the most unique elements of this sweet lies in its sugary, gooey center. That fondant filling, colored white and yellow to mimic a real egg yolk, is crafted from a simple but carefully balanced combination of sugar, glucose syrup, and invert sugar. All three are derived from sugar beet and sugar cane, with suppliers spread across the UK and mainland Europe. Transported via insulated tanker trucks, these sweeteners are pumped directly into the factory's high-capacity storage silos. Once inside, the production process kicks off with the tempering of chocolate. This step is crucial. Heating and cooling the chocolate to specific temperatures ensures a glossy finish and that signature snap. Massive automated tempering machines, each holding thousands of liters of liquid chocolate, prepare the base material for molding. These machines operate 24 hours a day, and during peak Easter demand, some lines can produce up to 12 eggs per second. The iconic shell of the Cadbury Creme Egg is created in two halves. Stainless steel molds pass along a conveyor belt, where they are coated in a thin layer of warm, tempered chocolate. The molds are spun at high speed using centrifugal force, evenly distributing the liquid around the walls. Once the shell has solidified, one half is filled with the fondant using high-precision nozzles. The fondant is heated to make it flow easily, but it must be cooled quickly once inside the chocolate to retain its shape and prevent the shell from cracking. Creating the yellow yolk involves a clever bit of engineering. A second nozzle deposits a smaller dollop of yellow-tinted fondant in the center of the white layer, giving the impression of an actual egg. Timing is everything here. The machines must deposit both the white and yellow fillings in milliseconds to avoid contamination and inconsistencies. A second shell half is then added and sealed with a brief application of heat, fusing the chocolate together without melting the filling. Automation dominates much of the production line. High-speed robotic arms handle everything from aligning molds to packaging the finished eggs in foil. However, human workers still play a vital role, especially during quality control. Every few minutes, operators inspect samples for weight, shape, and appearance. If a batch falls out of spec, it's pulled from the line and recycled. This hybrid approach, automation supported by trained staff, ensures that consistency is never compromised. The technology behind these machines is no small feat. Many of the molding lines are custom-built and can cost millions to install and maintain. The most advanced equipment includes servo-driven motors, automated temperature monitoring, and computer vision systems that scan each egg for defects. These systems are linked to central control panels, where operators monitor the entire process in real time. It takes roughly 15 to 20 minutes from start to finish to create a single Cadbury Creme Egg. From pouring the first drop of chocolate into a mold to wrapping the finished product in its familiar purple and yellow foil, the journey is fast and meticulously choreographed. At full capacity, the Bourneville facility alone can churn out over 1 million eggs per day in the lead-up to Easter, a testament to just how popular the product remains. Speaking of popularity, the Creme Egg is most beloved in the UK, where over 2/3 of annual production is consumed. However, demand has spread globally. Cadbury factories in New Zealand, Canada, and Ireland also produce creme eggs, often adapting slightly to local tastes and ingredients. In the United States, Hershey previously licensed the product for production, though with some notable recipe differences that drew mixed reviews from fans. The origins of this confection trace back to 1923, when Cadbury first experimented with filled chocolate eggs. The modern version, recognizable by its distinct filling and branding, launched in 1971. Back then, the process was far more manual. Chocolate was hand-poured into molds, cooled naturally, and the fondant was added with simple dispensers. Workers wrapped each egg by hand in foil. Over time, demand outpaced what handcrafting could deliver, prompting a move toward industrial-scale manufacturing. Cadbury itself has been a fixture of British industry since the 19th century, with its founders known not only for chocolate making, but also for social reform. The Bourneville factory was built as part of a model village designed to offer better living conditions for workers, reflecting a vision of industry driven by both productivity and ethics. That legacy lives on in today's factory, which blends tradition with innovation at every turn. Despite its popularity, producing creme eggs is not without challenges. One of the biggest hurdles is sourcing cocoa ethically and sustainably. The company is part of the Cocoa Life program, aimed at improving conditions for farmers and reducing environmental impact. Likewise, sugar sourcing must adhere to strict agricultural and trade standards, especially with ongoing debates about health and diet. Then there's the question of cost. While a single creme egg retails for less than £1, the journey from bean to shelf is complex and capital-intensive. The price of cocoa fluctuates based on global markets, with weather conditions and political instability in producing nations often affecting supply. Likewise, fuel costs and import tariffs influence the price of sugar and packaging materials. In total, producing each egg can cost anywhere from 12 to 20 pence, depending on the region and time of year. Efficiency is key to keeping costs down. Modern facilities use energy recovery systems, recycling waste heat from chocolate tempering machines to preheat ingredients or clean equipment. Packaging has also been streamlined. The foil used today is thinner than in earlier decades, reducing material waste without compromising the recognizable look. Interestingly, sales spike in a very narrow window. Creme eggs are typically available only from January through April, making them a seasonal obsession. That short window creates urgency among consumers and pressure on factories to ramp up production in the months leading up to the release. It also leads to strategic planning months in advance, with production often starting as early as September of the previous year. There's a strong psychological element too. The limited availability, combined with childhood nostalgia, makes the creme egg more than just a sweet treat. It's a symbol of Easter, indulgence, and tradition. Cadbury's marketing has leaned into this with clever campaigns, including the long-running "How do you eat yours?" slogan, which invites playful debate and fuels consumer engagement. In recent years, the company has even experimented with new flavors and formats. Orange, caramel, and mini versions of the original have all been introduced, though none have rivaled the success of the classic. Still, They provide an avenue to test machinery, explore new market segments, and extend the brand's footprint. What makes this whole process even more impressive is the scale of coordination. From farmers harvesting beans in Ghana, to sugar suppliers in Norfolk, to engineers programming robotic arms in Birmingham, it's a global network of effort condensed into a single foil-wrapped bite. And while the result may seem simple, just chocolate and sugar, it's backed by decades of evolution, millions in technology, and an entire economy of seasonal demand. And so, the next time you peel back that foil and sink your teeth into a Cadbury Creme Egg, remember the journey it took to get there. The molten chocolate, the sugary core, the high-speed machinery, all of it driven by the need to deliver consistency, delight, and a little bit of mystery in every bite. Thanks for joining us on this behind-the-scenes look at how Cadbury Creme Eggs are made. It's incredible to think how much history, technology, and global coordination goes into crafting something so small, yet so iconic. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of chocolate and fondant, make sure to check out some of our other videos. We've got plenty more fascinating food-making processes to explore. From factories churning out frozen pizzas to the secrets behind bubblegum, there's always more to uncover. Don't forget to hit that like button if you found this interesting, and subscribe so you never miss the next factory journey. And we'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's your favorite Easter treat? Or is there another food you've always wondered how it's made? Let us know below, and we just might cover it in an upcoming video. Until next time, thanks again for watching, and stay curious.